Standing in the desert of Egypt, the Great Pyramid of Giza remains history's most enduring physical puzzle. To build this, workers had to extract, transport, and stack 2.3 million individual stone blocks. These aren't just heavy stones. Individual components weigh between 2 and 80 tons each. To understand that weight, consider the Burj Khalifa. The tallest building in our modern world weighs about 500,000 tons. Visualizing the mass difference shows the pyramid is 11 times heavier. It is a structure so massive, it remained the tallest man-made object on the planet for 4,000 years. This sheer magnitude is why we struggle to believe it was built by a Bronze Age society, using nothing more than basic tools. The engineering goes beyond size. The pyramid's walls are aligned to true north with a precision that predates the invention of the compass by millennia. Inside, a system of air shafts maintains a constant temperature of 20 degrees Celsius, acting as a natural climate control system against the desert heat. Then there is the secret geometry. The pyramid actually has 8 sides, slightly pressed inward, so that on the solar equinox, the shadows reveal its concave faces. These anomalies have fueled endless speculation. Nikola Tesla believed these structures functioned as massive energy transmitters. He even attempted to replicate this theory with the Wardenclyffe Tower, experimenting with wireless power transmission inspired by the pyramid's placement and shape. Other theories range from alien navigation markers to giant biblical silos used for storing grain. However, archaeological evidence suggests that the methods used by the Egyptians were rooted in a sophisticated understanding of the physical world. The first problem was the granite. Ancient builders had to cut and shape thousands of tons of one of Earth's toughest stones, all without iron tools. They used dolerite, an even harder stone, to pound the granite. To separate the blocks, they hammered dry wooden wedges into natural fissures and added water. As the wood expanded, the rock split cleanly. But the granite was quarried 800 kilometers away. Moving 80-ton blocks that distance seems impossible. Ancient papyrus records confirm a massive shipping operation where the stones were loaded onto boats and navigated through the Nile River network. Once on land, they had to drag these stones across soft sand without wheels. A painting in the tomb of Jehudi Hotep shows the solution. A worker stands at the front of a transport sledge, pouring water onto the sand. This physics visualization shows why that matters. On dry sand, the sledge creates a mound that increases friction. Wetting the sand, balls begrains together, creating a rigid surface that effectively cuts the pulling effort in half. The builders didn't need magic. They used a masterful observation of natural forces to turn human muscle into a mountain-moving force. The final challenge was the height. Lifting 5.75 million tons of stone vertically requires a solution that traditional machinery provides today. A long external ramp was the traditional theory, but a ramp reaching the peak would have required more material than the pyramid itself. The internal ramp theory offers a plausible alternative. An external ramp was used for the base, but as height increased, builders changed strategy. Workers used a spiraling tunnel built inside the walls to drag blocks up through the interior as the structure rose. By utilizing this internal geometry, the engineers traded a massive vertical lift for a manageable, continuous incline. In 2560 BC, the Great Pyramid was encased in perfectly smooth, polished white limestone. At the very top sat a gold pyramidion. This capstone reflected the sun's light, making the monument visible for miles across the desert. Its location on the west bank of the Nile was a spiritual choice, connecting the tomb of the pharaoh with the setting sun and the journey into the afterlife. Despite this grand scale, Pharaoh Khufu's tomb was found completely empty, looted of its gold and treasure long ago. But the missing treasure isn't the point. The Great Pyramid stands as a monument to what humanity achieves through intellect, cooperation, and willpower.